He met her on an ordinary Tuesday. Nothing dramatic, nothing wild, just a quiet moment in a cafe. She laughed at his joke. He felt seen, understood, chosen. At first, everything was easy. She listened, she cared, she mirrored his values. She made him feel like he was finally enough, like all his past failures had led to this one moment of being understood. For the first time in his life, he felt wanted. But something shifted, slowly, not with anger, not with distance, not with conflict, but with small tests. She questioned how he reacted to small inconveniences. She watched how he responded to other women. She observed how he handled pressure. She paid attention to what made him insecure. And the moment he noticed, he panicked, not outwardly, but inside, because he wanted to pass. He wanted to prove himself. He wanted to remain the man she admired. And that's where he failed. Not because he was weak, but because he tried to earn love instead of embodying strength. Carl Jung wrote, "People don't see who you are, they test to see who you can be." And in love, especially with a woman who is emotionally sharp, intuitive, or wounded, those tests become the difference between respect and regret. This video is not about blaming women. It is not about worshiping them either. It is about understanding the psychological reality of attraction, trust, and power. Because if you don't understand the test, you will react emotionally. And if you react emotionally, you fail. And once a woman loses respect for a man, the relationship does not die instantly. It decays, quietly, slowly, inevitably. If you're new here, subscribe now, because on DarkPhilsy we don't talk about surface-level love. We talk about the hidden dynamics of the mind, the real forces that shape connection, power, and identity. Subscribe, stay, and let's go deeper. The first test: stability versus insecurity. A woman does not test you to hurt you. She tests you to see the foundation beneath your personality, to see if your confidence is real or borrowed, to see whether your calm is discipline or just silence before collapse. There is a moment in every relationship, spoken or unspoken, where she makes a move that reveals everything. She pulls slightly back. Her tone shifts. Her warmth flickers. Not gone, just paused. This is the moment that destroys most men, because they panic. They feel the distance and think, "I must fix this immediately. I must prove I still deserve her." So they over-explain, they over-apologize, they over-promise. They try to restore the previous emotional high. But here is the truth. The test was never about the relationship. It was about your relationship with yourself. She wants to know if your confidence stands alone, or if it depends on her validation. If your identity collapses when her approval is uncertain. If your desire is grounded or desperate. When you react emotionally, she doesn't see love, she sees instability. And instability kills attraction faster than anything. Because attraction is not built on affection, it is built on trust. Trust in your internal center, in your direction, in your self-government. If she becomes the source of your emotional stability, then she cannot feel safe in your presence. She cannot relax into you. She cannot admire you. She cannot respect you. And once respect is gone, love becomes obligation. You must understand this. A man's value in love is measured in how little of himself he loses, not in how much he gives. The second test: emotional control. A woman doesn't want a cold man, but she cannot trust a man who is ruled by his own emotions. Carl Jung said, "The world will ask you who you are. If you do not know, the world will tell you." A woman is the same. If you do not govern yourself, she will. Not intentionally, but instinctively. She will fill whatever emotional space you leave undefined. This is why. If you get angry quickly, she becomes careful around you. If you become upset easily, she walks on eggshells or withdraws. If you sulk or fall silent to punish, she loses trust in your maturity. The test is not whether you feel emotions. You must feel them. The test is whether you can hold your own emotional storm without exploding and without collapsing. A man fails this test not by being emotional, but by being unable to hold himself. What she needs to see is a man who can feel deeply and stay clear. A man who can be hurt and remain upright. A man who can be challenged and stay present, not defensive. Stillness is not emptiness. Stillness is power. When your emotions move, but your center does not, she sees a man she can trust with her love. The third test is purpose before attachment. Here is the one that breaks almost every man. When he falls in love, he forgets his life. His mission dissolves, his goals soften, his structure weakens. He starts rearranging his identity around the relationship, and she feels it instantly. A man with no direction becomes weight, something to carry, manage, stabilize, parent. No woman wants to be your compass. No woman wants to be your oxygen. And no woman wants to feel like your purpose dies if she leaves. Because if your purpose disappears, your strength was never real. Jung wrote, "What a man loves, he becomes." If you make her your purpose, you will lose both your purpose and her. If you stay rooted in your path, you become the man she can walk beside. Not above her, not ahead of her, not behind her. Beside, but never replaced. A woman tests where your life is anchored. If everything you are collapses into her, she will feel the entire weight of your existence pressing into her chest, and she will pull away because no one can breathe under that. Your purpose is not a distraction from love. Your purpose is what protects love. The test you must pass. You do not pass these tests with words. You do not pass with strategy. You do not pass by acting unbothered. You pass by becoming the man who does not need to pass a test. This is not about controlling her. This is not about dominating her. It is about governing yourself. A man who knows who he is, what he stands for, what he will not tolerate, what he will not sacrifice, and what he is building with his hands and mind. A man who is not emptying himself into love, but bringing fullness to it. Because a woman does not fall in love with your need. She falls in love with your gravity, your presence, your steadiness, your quiet certainty, your ability to carry yourself even through pain. When you hold your ground, she does not feel controlled. She feels safe. And when a woman feels safe, not protected from the world, but anchored in the presence of a man who knows himself, she opens, fully, freely, fearlessly. Not because you claimed her, but because she could trust you. The jealousy and comparison test. There is a test that appears innocent but cuts to the bone. Jealousy and comparison. It does not begin with accusations. It begins with lightness. A comment about someone you used to talk to. A question about a coworker who seems close to you. A story about a man who disappointed her because he could not hold his frame when a tension moved in the room. This test is not about policing you. It is about locating your center. If you deny too quickly, you sound afraid. If you defend too passionately, you sound guilty. If you attack her for asking, you sound brittle. The right response is not performance. It is presence. Stay calm, breathe, look her in the eyes like a man who is not hiding and not explaining his existence. Speak simply. Tell the truth without flooding. Then change nothing about your rhythm. Do not overcompensate. Do not prove. Do not offer reassurances you cannot maintain. A woman is reading the temperature of your nervous system. Has your attention become anxious and grasping? Has your voice started to chase approval? Has your schedule bent in sudden ways to eliminate every possible threat? That is not love. That is fear wearing loyalty. Jealousy is not solved by possession. It is settled by stature. If your stature is real, you do not collapse when attention moves around you. You do not need to broadcast availability to prove innocence. You do not erase your relationships, your boundaries, or your dignity to quiet a storm. Stand like a tree, flexible in the wind, rooted in the soil. If she is worthy of you, that steadiness will calm her faster than any promise. But there is a second edge to this test: comparison. She remembers how you spoke about your past. She listens when you describe what you admire. She notices whether you pedestal strangers while overlooking the one in front of you. Do not create hunger you cannot feed. If you praise an ideal woman who does not exist, you will turn the real woman beside you into a ghost, competing with fantasy. That pressure will breed resentment, and resentment always seeks evidence. Be precise. Speak admiration you can sustain. And when you do, match your words with consistent behavior. Respect expressed without respect embodied is insult by perfume. Pass the jealousy and comparison test by being the same man in public and in private. Calm, transparent, consistent, polite with others, present with her, anchored to a mission larger than romance, so romance does not become a courtroom.
The boundary and consequence test. Every healthy love requires a moment where boundary meets consequence. You will say what you cannot accept. You will say it gently, early, cleanly. She will nod. She will agree. And then life will deliver the real test. A moment where the boundary is touched to see if it is painted line or living edge. Most men break here. They talk in essays but act like erasers. They say never again and then tolerate it once more. They teach with their mouth and unteach with their feet. You pass this test by letting your actions carry the message. Not anger, not lectures, behavior. If a boundary is crossed, you reduce access. You reduce availability. You reduce privilege. You do not punish. You rebalance the equation so reality becomes the teacher. This is not game. It is governance. It tells her, I am kind, but I am not formless. I can love you and still love myself in the same breath. Consequence is not cruelty. It is clarity. Without it, apologies are theater and patterns are priests. Understand something Jung would recognize. What you reward repeats. What you tolerate trains. When a woman sees that your word and your world match, respect grows. Respect deepens attraction. Attraction makes softness safe. There is beauty on the other side of consequence. When she experiences that you will not abandon yourself to keep peace, she relaxes into the truth that the peace you bring is real, not compliance, integrity.
Value drift and self-abandonment. Another test arrived slowly, almost invisibly. Value drift. At the beginning, you had non-negotiables: sleep, training, study, work, faith, craft, brotherhood. Then love arrived, and the calendar softened. You did not notice the first subtraction. You noticed the first complaint you wanted to avoid. So you rearranged. Drift accumulates in quiet rooms. You skip what made you strong. You delay what made you clear. You begin making small trades that feel romantic but become corrosive, exchanging deep time for constant presence, replacing deliberate practice with constant texting, replacing leadership with availability. Value drift is not measured in days. It is measured in the distance between who you are and who you promised yourself to be. A woman tests whether your values survive love. If they do not, she knows two things. You will become resentful, and she will be blamed for a collapse she did not ask for. Correct this by formalizing your life again. Put your spine back into your schedule. Sacred hours, silent blocks, hard stops. Invite her into your order instead of dissolving into her spontaneity. Mystery without structure becomes chaos. Romance without rhythm becomes exhaustion. You are not choosing her or your values. You are choosing the only version of you who can love her well. Desire, polarity, and the test of heat. There is a test men refuse to name: the test of heat. Beneath kindness, beneath conversation, beneath logistics, attraction wants polarity. Not performance, presence. Not tricks, charge. If you become all listener and no leader, all compliance and no initiative, attraction cools. Not because she is ungrateful, but because you have stopped generating the current that ignites the space between you. Heat is not aggression. Heat is direction. It is the way you take responsibility for setting the frame, making the plan, initiating the kiss, steering the evening, guiding the moment without demanding outcome. It is the confidence to invite, the courage to hear no, and the composure to remain warm either way. She will test this by withdrawing subtle signals. Will you wither into passivity, or will you remain playful, patient, unpressured, still a man of invitation? She will test it by offering mixed messages. Will you argue for your desire, or will you embody it and let the room feel your certainty? Do not negotiate attraction. You do not argue someone into wanting you. You cultivate the version of yourself that is compelling to you first. Body that can move, voice that can be heard, life that is going somewhere. Desire respects direction. Pass the heat test by returning to appetite that is disciplined, eyes that are kind, touch that is slow, speech that is scarce, and attention that is divided between her and the horizon you are walking toward.
Absence, silence, and the frame of time. Every deep bond will meet the test of time apart. Travel, work, illness, family, or simply the human need for solitude. When distance arrives,
Panic visits insecure partnerships. They text to fill silence, call to fill space, scroll to fill imagination. You pass this test by letting time breathe. Silence is not neglect. Absence is not abandonment. If your frame is strong, distance becomes a place where trust grows roots. You do not chase. You do not disappear. You keep the rhythm of your life and send presence rather than proof. A short voice note with warmth. A photo from your day that carries your eyes in it. A plan set for your return. And then back to work, back to training, back to building. This tells a woman, you live in a man's life, not in a boy's vacancy. When you return, you do not demand reassurance. You bring experiences, stories, results, calm. Distance tested you. You stayed intact. Attraction deepens when time cannot bend you. Rupture, repair, and the final frame. No relationship survives without rupture. The test is not whether conflict arrives. The test is whether repair elevates or erodes the bond. Most men confuse repair with retreat. They apologize for existing. They flood with promises. They make their partner the judge and themselves the defendant. Courtroom love always ends in prison. True repair has 4 moves. Own your part, precisely, not theatrically. 1 sentence, no autobiography, no self-contempt. Name the pattern, not the person. When we do X, it creates Y. I will do Z differently. Place a boundary around recurrence. What will and will not happen again. Offer a forward path. A specific plan that restores momentum. A talk, a day, a ritual, a change in system. If she can meet you there, trust multiplies. If she demands humiliation, freezes affection, or keeps the court in session, step back. Repair is a dance, not a trial. The final frame is simple and merciless. I am a man who governs himself. I do not trade my values for approval. I choose a woman who respects my mission, and I respect hers. Love is not my purpose, but love flourishes when I live on purpose. I protect the bond by protecting the backbone that carries it. Stand in that frame, and the tests do not end. Your capacity does. And capacity grows when you live the truth you speak.
Solitude, brotherhood, and the spine of a man. Strength without solitude is crowd-pleasing. Strength without brotherhood is delusion. You will be tested on both. There will be a day she does not understand why you need a silent morning with your thoughts, a long run with no phone, an hour with iron and breath and nothing else. She may see solitude as distance. If you panic and fill that silence with attention, you will weaken the very muscle that steadies you in love. Explain once, then protect the practice. Brotherhood matters just as much. Men sharpen men. A woman is not supposed to be your gym, your counsel, your arena, your ritual, your cathedral. She can witness your ascent, not replace the conditions that produce it. When you abandon male friendship, you drag romance into jobs it cannot perform. It will buckle. Keep men in your life who tell you the truth, laugh loudly, demand excellence, and disappear into the mountains or the sea with you. Bring back the version of you that smells like wind and sweat and effort. That man loves better because he is not asking love to build him. Provision, power, and the test of pressure. Pressure exposes pretense. Money, deadlines, failure, surprise bills, sick parents, layoffs. Life will press your chest to the floor. She will not test you here with questions. Life will test you, and she will watch.
You do not have to be rich to pass. You have to be responsible. When pressure hits, do not turn her into your mother. Do not disappear into vices. Do not look for a softer lap to die on. Make a list. Make the calls. Cut the non-essential. Sell what gathers dust. Sleep like an adult. Train anyway. Eat like tomorrow matters. Provision is not peacocking. It is predictable effort over long spans of time. A budget is masculine romance. An emergency fund is foreplay for safety. Insurance is poetry written in numbers. None of it is sexy, and all of it makes a woman's breath release in your presence. When you carry pressure like a craftsman carries a tool, she sees a man she can build a life with, rather than a life she must carry. Selection, standards, and choosing her. The final test is not hers, it is yours. Choosing a woman who chooses you in the same language. Not every good woman is the right woman for your mission. Beauty, charm, chemistry, shared playlists, they melt in ordinary winters. What survives are shared values expressed as habits. Choose the woman who respects your time and protects her own, who speaks clean, fights fair, repairs fast, who tells the truth even when it trembles, who is tender without being timid, strong without being hard, who can pray or think or hustle beside you and then put her head on your chest like home. Do not chase spark and ignore substance. Do not confuse difficulty for depth. Do not audition where you are not invited. Stand where you are excellent and invite her there. If she cannot love the man you are when you are most yourself, she will only love you when you are most exhausted. Choosing well is the most masculine romance. It honors her and it preserves you.
Legacy, children, and the long horizon. Jung wrote that what we do not make conscious returns as fate. Now imagine fate with small shoes. If you choose fatherhood, or godchildren, nieces, nephews, students, your frame will be tested by eyes that copy, not ears that listen. A woman will watch how you hold power with the small and the slow. Do you kneel to their level and look into their eyes? Do you keep promises when it would be easier to distract? Do you protect their boundaries the way you protect your own? Strength that frightens children is theater. Strength that steadies children is real. Legacy is a schedule more than a speech. Read to someone, fix what breaks, teach a skill, waste time together on purpose. Put your phone in a drawer, eat at a table, explain your mistakes without self-hatred. Let them see a man who is not perfect but is practicing. The future does not need your image, it needs your example. Rituals, romance, and the maintenance of wonder. Attraction begins with spark and survives by ritual. Without maintenance, even the most sacred engines seize. Choose rituals and guard them. A weekly walk after dinner. A shared playlist only you two know. A monthly date you book and keep. A quarterly escape where the phones go dark. A yearly letter you write by hand. None of this is complicated. All of this is work. Rituals do not make love mechanical. They make love renewable. They turn memory into momentum. They tell her, we do not wait for moods to do what matters. We schedule wonder and show up for it. And romance? It is not grand gestures in public. It is competent intimacy in private. Learn her nervous system, what calms it, what warms it, what overwhelms it. Learn her cycles of speech and silence. Learn the texture of her joy and the shape of her grief. Then love her like a craftsman, not a consumer. The man who stays a man. In the end, all the tests reduce to one. Do you remain yourself when love arrives? If you betray your values to keep her,
you will lose her and yourself. If you abandon your mission to make her your purpose, you will turn love into labor. If you outsource your emotional regulation to her approval, you will become a project she never applied to manage. Stand, work, pray or think, train, build, laugh with men who refuse your excuses, rest like a human, give like a king, forgive like a warrior. Protect your softness with your structure. Bring beauty to your spaces. Speak the truth you can sustain, and choose a woman who loves that man, not the empty costume you would wear to avoid being alone. Then the tests stop feeling like traps and start feeling like invitations to be more of what you already are when no one is watching.
There will be a night when everything you claim collides. Deadlines, fatigue, her tears, your temper, the bill, the call from home, the text that stings, the memory that returns with teeth. This is the choice under pressure, the exam with no proctor. You will be tempted to reach for the nearest anesthesia. Scroll, sugar, porn, rage, retreat. Or to outsource the moment, make it her job to calm you, fix you, forgive you. Do not. Walk to the sink, splash water on your face. Breathe for a count of 4 in, hold for 4, out for 8. Sit. Write 3 lines. What matters right now? What can wait? What must end? Then choose the smallest honorable action and do it cleanly. Send 1 message, make 1 call, move 1 bodyweight set, put 1 plate in the dishwasher. Order becomes available the moment you create it at the smallest scale possible. When you return to her, do not bring performance. Bring the evidence of a man who does not collapse. Say, "It's a lot. I'm here. I'm handling my part." Then handle it. The paradox of leadership in love is that you are never more attractive than when you are calmly solving what no one sees. You are not saving the world. You are relieving tomorrow of the burden of today, one precise motion at a time. Slow greatness. Slow greatness is the only kind that lasts. You will be measured not by intensity, but by continuity. 10 quiet years beat 1 dramatic month. Keep the mornings that make you sane. Keep the evenings that make you generous. Miss a day and return the next, without the opera of self-hate. This is how a man becomes inevitable, not by shouting, but by showing up when no one is applauding. The architecture she recognizes. Remember, you are not auditioning for love. You are building a life that love can survive inside. Keep it simple. Keep it strong. Keep it honest. The right woman will recognize the architecture and walk through the door. If you want love that endures, stop trying to earn it. Build yourself into a man who is unshakable in how he stands, how he moves, and what he chooses. Because love cannot be sustained by effort alone. It is sustained by identity. If this message hits something in you, you already know. You are becoming. Subscribe to DarkPhilsy. Decode shadows, unlock wisdom, shape your life.